Hello, everybody. We've just finished watching the Witches Sisieko series, and this is just to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to thank everybody that watched the show. I'd love to thank those of you who loved, those who subscribed, and most of all, those of you who comment. Your comments were what I go and watch and listen to at the end of every episode, and they were always so encouraging. Even for those of you who didn't really like the show, at least you commented, you watched, you subscribed, and you commented. And I want to say thank you to all of you. I can't believe that something that started as a joke and as a hobby has turned out to be this thing that people are talking about, people are tweeting about it, and some people even have shows on YouTube reviewing it. Every time I watch, I'm so overwhelmed and I'm so grateful. I'd love to thank my husband, Ahiwada, for the support. It's one thing to support somebody's passion, but it's another thing to put your money where your mouth is. And apart from the money, the support of the time going out to shoot, staying out for script conferences. And in this regard, I'd like to thank my whole family, because when I'm shooting, everything else pales. I'm all for what I'm doing. And thank you so much for supporting my passion in this way. I'd love to thank my crew, starting with Lulu Afrobi, my producer, the great Lulu. Nothing is impossible for Lulu. As long as you tell her, this is what I want to do, you write it, Lulu will produce it. I also want to thank Lindsay, the director. I'd like to thank Yemi, who did the DOP, and indeed the whole production crew. But first of all, I'd like to thank Yemi, most especially because but for Yemi, this show wouldn't be on YouTube. He was passionate enough about it and he drove to make sure it happened. So thank you so much, Yemi. Thank you for the entire production team, which has been compared to a lot of productions that had money bags for their production and we had so little. But it just shows the passion with which the whole crew had to bring this thing out in such a way that we're even comparable to any of these big shows. So I'd like to thank my crew so much for this as well. A lot of the comments have been talking about how short each episode is. You have to know that Witches is a web series, and traditionally web series are usually very short. If you remember Skinny Girl in Transit, the first 3 episodes, I believe, ran between 7 to 10 minutes. And also you have the popular Awkward Black Girl. The first few seasons were like 1 to 4 minutes per episode. But having said that, we've heard you, and that means you enjoyed what you were watching. And for that, we promise that season 2, which we also promise wouldn't be in this too far future, would be longer per episode. You have longer episodes in season 2. So thank you so much for everybody that watched. We look forward to seeing you for season 2. Before going as well, I'd like to thank my sponsors. I'd love to thank Runkesho Boju of Liquid Hub. Indeed, a lot of ideas for Witches was birthed many evenings at the Liquid Hub. So it wasn't fortuitous that it had to be shown, a lot of it had to be shot at the Liquid Hub. At this time, I'd like to thank Maki Shoyinka for the name Witches. I'd like to thank Bailey's Nigeria for their sponsorship. I'd like to thank Bolt for the use of Taxify when we were shooting. And then I'd love to thank, last but not the least, my wonderful acting crew. Bikiyat Graham Douglas, gosh, what a perfect actress. She was so thorough. Every scene had to be how we wanted it to be. Dolakbo is a natural. As all of you fell in love with Oma, Aduni would make sure that everything was exactly how we wanted it. And all the others, They were really a dream team to work with, and I'm so thankful to all of you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again and having this talk again after season 2 of Witches. Love you all. Thank you very much.